Hey, yeah, man, welcome here. Welcome back. It's that guy, man, Blue as it gets. Kicking off the 225 season, New York Giants. Just sitting around thinking about some of last year's predictions and how they panned it out, and the games that we played and the final record. But before we got into all that, was one of those questions um, that I asked myself, and I was asking others maybe if they, any viewers that catch this, what their thoughts on it were. But do you still, I guess the question this season is, are the New York Giants still the worst team in the NFC East? And last year was a lot easier to answer for me. It was just things weren't looking good. They weren't looking good at all. And and other teams were making those changes that we were hoping to make a little more readily at that time. So it was not looking good. And they kind of played out like that for the most part. With the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and shit like that. And Washington Commanders having such a good season for themselves with Jaden Daniels and the Cowboys relatively being the Cowboys, but still being at least the Cowboys in ways, and usually a winning franchise through regular season stuff. But this season is particularly probably a little different when we talk about the overall rankings at what they're looking like right now, as far as the proven stuff is, the potential that we have going on, and maybe the personnel status and things like that with the teams. And I guess we'll start off with who we rank the first team, or who I might rank the first team. And it'd probably be the Philadelphia Eagles at this time, just because they are Super Bowl champions. The personnel is relatively mostly the same. There are some changes. I don't keep up with the Eagles like that. But, for every change they make, but they have most of their team back still, at least a lot of their star players from the pass game and the run game and things like that. So they go ahead and just give them number one. I think that when it comes down to number two, though, is where things start to get interesting automatically because it is NFC East. And our division is normally or has normally been really competitive, even though we haven't really been in the picture like that as of late. But now, things look to be a little different, especially coming out of the preseason and performance that we saw out of the both sides of the ball, defense and offensively, but primarily offense right now, since that's the biggest changes that we're going to talk about into this ranking right now. So I think now last year was the Dallas Cowboys because they were such a staple in our division. Just even though they might be not be Super Bowl winners, of course, because Cowboys trash, but yeah, just their staple teams for our NFC East and the regular season performance. This year, though, I think I start to question if they're going to be able to maintain that with the push that the other teams, like ourselves, and the New York Giants court and the Washington Commanders have been making in the recent years. And I think right here is where I'm gonna have to go ahead and say that maybe the Washington Commanders would be the second team that I would place in the rankings of best worst team in NFC East. All right, so now I think that's fine. Jaden Daniels, even though they have a situation going on with their wide receiver situation with Terry McLaurin and things like that. And they just got rid of Brian Robinson, the running back too. So I'm have to, we have to reassess that maybe when it goes to the kickoff. But right now, just with the potential, we're going ahead and put them around 2 or 3 ish. Now with the Cowboys, what I say with the Cowboys here is that their whole thing is last season didn't work out for them. Other teams had better seasons and they didn't win the Super Bowl. So the Cowboys are the Cowboys right now. And that just comes down to us and them as far as who's going to be placed third. And although I honestly can't say that they are the worst team in the NFC East, I can't really, really say that we are better than them in total, at least as far as a proven team within a division. But I do especially feel like, and I probably would even say, but we probably are the most unproven team in the NFC East right now. And that's only because we have made the changes that we have made at primary positions with veterans and of course our rookie at quarterback, Jackson. But now having that actually play out for us in the regular season and just it being something, really something new for all of us, or for some of us that maybe, the last 6, 7 years, man, has been rough if you just became a fan. So imagine little Tommy, little, you know, Jerome, or whoever else, anybody else, man, that saw this team, they was 10 years old and it was rough, man. And now they, so and that was the apathy, I think somebody like Bob Papa and Carl were talking about with the team or the fan base for the team, just seeing so much of the losing and the play not being the best and not the most exciting. See, even if you're going to win or lose a game, you want to see your team actually 18 points a game is not great. So, you want to see a little better than that. And I think that's where things have thrown over for us as far as the rankings in NFC East and where we could finish, even if we might not be a Super Bowl winning team. Not to say that the Eagles going to repeat, just saying that, there's a lot of teams in both divisions. So, you know, as promising our play is, we still have to get through the gauntlet of other teams trying to do the same thing. Um, so that's what it comes down to. But as far as NFC East, I think I wouldn't necessarily rank us as the worst team, but I would probably rank us or easily rank us as the most unproven team. Especially because not only offensive changes have been made, but on the defensive changes, they're you know big changes that have to be proven as well on our side of the ball with somebody like Abdul, of course, coming as our number one pick. But Jack Darwin in the same round, he just moved up, you know. So anybody's back end of it. But these are things. So we'll see. And I think that's the biggest thing for us. As the question goes, if we are the worst team in the NFC East, or are we still that worst team in the NFC East? You might feel a little different. You might say we number one, number two, number three. I don't have any, things saying against that, of course. I'm just speaking just as far as what we look going into the season. As it goes along, it's going to be what it is, man. Hopefully, we winning these games. We open up the season against the Washington Commanders. We might play we might play the Eagles within that time, to the first 4 weeks or so, or Cowboys within the first 4 weeks. So, it won't be take long before we start really seeing where we are in our division. And that's good to know too. It won't take long to see what type of turnover we got going on, especially in the division, because you want to be something in your division if you're going to really try to win in the playoffs, towards that playoff run, even in a wild card situation, where you could catch fire in the wild card and make that run. We no strangers to that at all, and that's what made the previous teams, the more historical teams now, I guess, special like they were. So, you never know with this roster here. We have Bobby Okereke, maybe could be and Antonio Pierce, and be that staple on our defense and whatever else, of course, with Sexy Dexy, no disrespect, of course, as our primary leaders on that front seven, man, to really do it. And Jackson Dart, even though it's his rookie year, um, can show something this year and next year. There's always next year for these players' careers. Not every quarterback seems to get these opportunities, but some quarterbacks too. So I guess he's at least guaranteed 2 years, right? All right, so we at least give him 2 years. But yeah, man, I think that's the question. So as a final answer on it, are we still the worst team in this East? Yeah. No, I don't think they are. I think the Cowboys are actually worse than us this year. Yeah, no, I think the Cowboys are worse than us. We're probably still the most unproven team, and that's perfectly fine. But we're not the worst team in NFC this year. I don't see that playing out. Now, how the team performs and everything like that is how it's going to be. But if I'm saying right now that and I easily said that we were the first team in NFC East last year, this year, I don't know, man. I don't know. So we're gonna see. And like I said, with these first 4 games, first two of those games, I believe, are against NFC East opponents. At least opening week is with the Commanders. Um, but yeah, All right, so we're gonna see, man. If guys lose or gets, uh, like I say, I'm just here for the fandom with the fandom. I don't know how y'all feel about it. You can comment whatever about it, like dislike, whatever. Just let me know. But yeah, we'll see, man. And I hope y'all be good, man. And catch y'all next time.